This week, we're going to be looking at the 0.3 internal release of Antilia. We're going to do a little bit of a review of how things are going for the year and how we're doing towards our goals. And we're going to be launching our Patreon page this week, so stay tuned. So to get started, let's talk a little bit about version 0.3 of Antilia. Again, this is going to be an internal release. It's just for the developers. We're not quite at the point yet where we're ready for other people to start testing Antilia and playing the game, but we're getting there. We're moving forward. I'm real happy with the progress. Now, if you haven't been watching YouTube, I've been getting into the regular habit of every week around Friday and posting a new video, and a lot of it's just kind of, brief updates on what I've been working on in the week, new features, new things. So if you haven't been paying attention to those, you haven't been following YouTube, there might be a few videos for you to catch up on here on YouTube. Feel free to check those out. I'll try and link them in the description below. And some of the topics I'll be covering this week, such as the hotbar, we've already kind of covered them in detail in a previous week. So I'll link to those videos when it's appropriate. But I do want to do a good overview of all the features I've created that go into version 0.3. So there will be a little bit of redundancy here for those who didn't catch the videos before, but if you want more information, feel free to catch up on those videos. They go into a little bit more detail than I'm going to go into here. So just a quick rundown of some of the new features in version 0.3. We have the new hotbar. It's all 3D, based on the same 3D kind of style as the inventory, so that when you go into the inventory, it's all seamless. You don't know what's going on. That was a little bit of a challenge getting that to work. When you go back into the actual game, we had some Z fighting and some problems with that, but we've sorted all that out. We found a nice solution for that. We've got the status bars actually linked to the actual statistics of the character now. So as you walk around, there are things in the world that will damage the player. I've got these little cactus. They're a bit crude right now. It's just for testing. But when you walk through the cactus, the health actually goes down. You see that reflected on the client end. So we're bringing a lot of things, we're tying them all together. A lot of these independent systems are now beginning to act in a way that it's starting to become a game. It's starting to become quite fun. The cactus fruit, if you find the little cactuses that were on the Avka saw, and ignore the quality of Avka saw, it's very rough in this footage, I know. This is just kind of a crayon sketch. I mentioned this in last week's video that I'm just learning how to use these tools. So just ignore how kind of crude some of this terrain looks right now, and I don't have terrain splatting on. But the idea is you can click on a cactus now and get cactus fruit from it, and the cactus actually changes in this version to indicate whether or not it has fruit to take. So moving on, next I wanted to talk a bit about just how we're doing, because it's the end of the first quarter of the year, January, February, March. We've got this big goal this year to try and get back into a state where people are testing the game again. Now, I'm not sure what that's going to entail. I don't know if we're going to get so far along that we're doing public alphas, or if that's going to be kind of a by invite only or something like that. Too early to tell on those things. I definitely want to get to the point, though, that we are doing some form of testing that involves the community again. So I want to just evaluate how we are doing towards getting to that goal. And there are a list of features. I have them in the design document. I don't know if I'll show it in the video or not. But there are, because it's scattered throughout this 60-page document, there's these certain features I've highlighted in blue that need to be there before we go towards public testing. So we have a bare minimum feature set of things that are enough for people to start testing with. Trying to test the game right now, there's you play around with it for 5 minutes and you've done everything there is to do in the game. So there's this list of features I've kind of gone through, and we've crossed off probably, I think, 2 or 3 of them already, which is, we're making progress there. Obviously, there's a lot of progress to go, but there's also a lot of other things that have been going on that I'm really excited about, like setting up the Patreon account, making these videos, things that are real positive for the project. And in some ways, I think that the real progress this year has been doing things like that. Those have been so much more important to getting the project moving forward than, obviously doing the development is, it's critical as well. But it's also important to get the momentum behind the project moving forward again. And that's something I've been really working on this year. And so far, I'm real happy with where we are right now. I did not expect to be launching Patreon this week. I did not expect to be making videos so regularly. So I am really happy with where we're going. And I'd like to just continue this pattern and continue finding ways to add more momentum to the project. And definitely the best way to do that, we all know, everyone on the dev team knows, the best way to get people interested in the project, of course, is to let them start playing the game. So we're pushing towards that as quickly as we can, but it is going to take time. There's still a lot of gameplay features that have to be implemented, still a lot to do. But we'll just keep at it, and we'll keep making these little weekly updates. And I think overall we're doing great. I'm really happy with where we are for the first quarter of this year. And the final and perhaps most exciting note for this week is that we are launching our Patreon page. So I haven't clicked the button just yet. Maybe I'll take some footage when I actually go click the button, and we'll throw that in the video right here maybe. So we don't yet have Antilia in a place where we can offer the game itself as a backer reward. We'll be moving forward towards that, of course. For now, I've kept the reward just kind of simple. We can expand them as we need over time. But for those of you who have been wanting to help support the project, here it is. I've set up a Patreon, and I hope you'll go check it out. Well, that's it for this week's update. I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. I do read all the comments. You guys have been giving me some great ideas and some great feedback, and I really appreciate it. I don't always get a chance to respond to everyone, but I do try to read it all and take it all in. So until next time, I hope to see you then.